Greetings and welcome back to PinballHelp. We're continues on this WPC MPU board. This came from a Doctor Who pinball machine. And if you watched the earlier video part, we were diagnosing a problem where these two LEDs would stay on and the middle one wouldn't even blink at all. The middle one is a diagnostic one. It's D20. There's D19, D20, and D21. D19 is supposed to go on, and then once the system boots up, it goes off. D20 is a diagnostic one that will blink X number of times if there's any problems. Otherwise, it'll kind of blink on and off depending upon the operation of the game. And then D21 stays on all the time. So what was happening was the game wouldn't boot at all. I took the thing off, hooked it up to my bench power supply, turned it on, and both D19 and D21 went on, and the D20 in the middle didn't blink at all. Now, usually that indicates it's not booting up at all. Tested all the different chips and everything, couldn't find anything wrong. The only likely conclusion was the memory chip, which you will see has been removed. Now, you might say, well, why mess with the memory chip? Isn't it blink? It's supposed to blink twice. If you look at the diagnostic information, it's supposed to blink twice if the memory is bad, if the RAM is bad. But it wasn't doing that. It wasn't blinking at all. It wasn't even booting. Well, here's an example of how what appears to be a bad RAM chip can cause it not to boot at all, so that it won't even get to the self-test where it will tell you, hey, the RAM chip is bad. I've taken the RAM chip completely out, so it's just not even in the game. All right? I've got it hooked back up to the bench. I'm going to turn it on without the memory chip in it at all. And watch, it behaves differently now. It blinks twice. 1, 2. So the game is now partially booted up, and check the memory and the RAM, and now it knows there's a RAM error. Now what's weird is, with the memory chip in there, it wouldn't even get that far. It would just not even blink at all. So this underlines the significance that sometimes a bad RAM can cause the thing not even to boot up, even though you would think it should boot up without the RAM, and then check the RAM and tell you, hey, the RAM chip is bad. In this case, the only way I got it to even give me any diagnostic blinks was by removing the chip altogether, which, by the way, is a very precarious thing. You want to make sure that you do that carefully. And as you can see, it's pretty clean right there. So there you have it. The game boots up and it gives me 2 flashes, which indicates a problem with the RAM. So that's a good sign. That's a really good sign. It's the first sign of life, actual life, from this board since we've started working on it. Swapped all the components out, couldn't get anything working on it, but now we at least got it to tell us, hey, the RAM chip is bad. It wasn't getting that far before with the chip in it. So now I'm hopeful when the socket comes in and the chip comes in, I may be able to get this board back to life. So I'll post more, and this will be a to be continued thing. So thanks for watching. Blink. 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 Cool. 2 blinks. See you later.